The police received information about a stolen motorcycle. They were able to identify and follow the thief.
Sai, ladrão! Vira de costa, palma pra trás! Copom tá na mão, apoio! Vamos botar onde, filho?
Luckily, the police officer found him hiding in a dark place. After being arrested, the thief started crying and saying he hadn't done anything. They're tough when they're robbing, but after they're caught, they start crying.
Quem que foi? Foi o menor que deixou dar um tabu. Tá com você, é sua. Ladrão, não tô com as ideias? Eu peguei na mansão a moto, juro por você.
Two young men on a motorcycle knocked down a police officer who was following them. Other police officers stayed behind to help their fallen friend, while the person filming continued the chase. The bandits' motorcycle broke down, forcing them to stop. The two ran in different directions, so the police officer chose to capture the passenger, taking him into custody. This motorcycle had been stolen. The police found it, and the two quickly began to flee from the police. The chase was intense. Notice that both are without helmets, and the motorcycle doesn't have a license plate. After a few minutes of pursuit, the police officer manages to corner them, and the two fall off the motorcycle and run away on foot. The police officer managed to follow the passenger, who tried to hide in a house. But the residents prevented him, and the police managed to capture him. A young man tried to be funny, entering the mall on a motorcycle where it wasn't allowed. But he didn't expect to find an off-duty police officer right where he was about to go.
Onde que é o drive-thru? Tem drive-thru não? Não pode?
He thought he would leave there undisturbed until the police officer showed up.
Oi, calma. É? Não é roubado não. Não é roubado não. Eu só errei, relaxa. Ô, eu sou o Wendel, Rinha. Eu estudei com você, caralho. Calma aí, irmão. Não vou roubar não.
The police officer asked if the motorcycle was stolen. He searched the young man. And since he was off duty, he let the boy go. The police were conducting surveillance in a favela. A lookout for the drug traffickers was distracted and didn't see the police arrive, then ran off through the alleys. He had disappeared at that moment.
Pega mais não. Ele levou o estouro da porra em cima.
He unfortunately managed to escape. The police report stated that he jumped onto the roof of a house and heard the sound of the roof breaking. The bandit was fleeing from several police officers, but he didn't expect that a police dog would be able to stop him. When he saw the dog, he stopped running, making the police officer's job easier. Residents called the police, reporting that motorcyclists were performing dangerous maneuvers on public streets, putting people's lives at risk. The police quickly went to the scene and the culprits immediately tried to flee. The police managed to see one of them. He looked back, saw he couldn't escape and surrendered. One of the policemen stopped while the other continued searching for the others. Right at the end of the street, the policeman managed to spot another one fleeing. He missed the turn and ended up falling, making the policeman's job easier. This motorcyclist argued with the police. As soon as the officer opened the door, he accelerated and ran a red light. Another police car went after him, but they couldn't find him.
Man, why would you take off? Pull over. Why would he do?
His friends didn't understand why he did that. The Police spotted 3 individuals without helmets on a motorcycle without a license plate, and they attempted to flee from the police. One of them escaped. The police decided to continue following the 2. They both ended up falling, and the police arrested them both. This young man saw the police and started to run away. The police quickly followed him. He almost had an accident. The young man continued to flee until he reached his house. He thought he could hide there, but it didn't work out very well.
Que você correu? E o que tem a ver? É que você tá correndo?
Já para. Se meteu louco, senhor.
The man saw the police and tried to turn back, but there wasn't enough time.
Entendeu? Não. Por que você ia voltar?
Não, porque eu me assustei.
Assustou com o quê? Teu cara de bandido que você se assustou?
The police officer asked why he was running away, and he said he got scared, and that he was doing wheelies on his motorcycle, so he was afraid of getting a ticket. The police officer checked, and the motorcyclist was released. A motorcyclist sees the police and tries to flee, almost running over a cat.
Para, troca ideia! Você é cansado, filho, para! Você é cansado!
Even though the police officer yelled at the man to stop, he insisted on continuing to run away.
Sai!
He entered a dead-end street and was apprehended by the police. The motorcyclist said he didn't know why he fled.
Larga costa! Vira de costa! Você acha que tem palhaço aqui? Qual que é o...
A couple riding without helmets or license plates tried to flee from the police but were quickly surrounded.
Para, desce. Desliguei, calmou.
Calmou? Você nem me viu nervoso ainda. Você nem viu nós nervoso. Coloca a mão na cabeça.
The motorcyclist said everything was in order, but the police told him to retrieve his helmet or the motorcycle would be impounded. The appropriate fines were issued. This man was riding a motorcycle that was completely out of order. The police approached silently, but because the individual was riding a motorcycle without rearview mirrors, he didn't see the police approaching. When he tried to flee, it was too late, and he surrendered.
Desliga a moto, desce com a moto, mão na cabeça.
The police applied all administrative measures and fines for driving the vehicle without proper documentation.
Foram tomadas todas as medidas administrativas, além da...
This man saw the police and decided to try to escape, but in the end, his choice wasn't the best one. See what happens next. After several minutes of pursuit and attempts to get the motorcyclist to stop, the police officer had to take a more aggressive approach. Let's look at it from the perspective of the police officer behind the scenes so you can understand what happened. The police officer had to knock the fugitive down to make him obey. This couple on the motorcycle evaded the police for a long time until the driver went to his mother for protection. See what the runaway mother is going to do. She steps in front of the police motorcycle to defend her runaway son. The mother hugged her son out of fear that the police officer would do something. The police officer kept asking the family members to move away. Would you defend a family member, even knowing they are wrong? Comment below if you would let them be arrested or try to defend them. In this police chase, a resident throws an object at the police officer, attempting to prevent him from catching the fugitive. The The object hits the police officer's helmet, causing him to lose his balance and almost fall off his motorcycle. Other police officers managed to block the path, leaving the fugitive with no way out and forcing him to stop. The motorcycle had its serial numbers scraped off, the engine had been tampered with, and the fugitive had his license suspended and was taken into custody. Individual without a helmet and motorcycle without a license plate attempts to flee from the police.
Ele e o policial estavam em alta velocidade e freia para tentar despistá-lo, mas novamente por pouco ele não.
He almost fell and knocked the police officer down, but still managed to continue his escape.
Você vai cair, filhão! Você vai cair, filhão!
At that moment, the police officer could have knocked him down. His plan was to stop the motorcycle and let the two police officers drive straight past. But the plan backfired and the officer managed to arrest him. This individual was fleeing from the police until he ran out of options and gave up.
Vai ficar no chão, filho. Fica no chão. Fica no chão. Fica no chão. Vai morar a cabeça.
The police officers became furious and threw him to the ground. After they are caught, they become angels and say they did nothing. The motorcycle was impounded by the police, and all necessary measures were taken. An individual on a Honda motorcycle without license plates or a helmet decided to flee from the police at high speed.
Para, tio! Para, João!
He puts his life and the lives of everyone else on the road in danger. During the descent, he tries to evade the police officer, but he didn't expect to be surrounded and for his motorcycle to fall over. Two young men decided to flee from the police, without wearing helmets and without the motorcycle's license plate. Look, they almost ran over some pedestrians who were on the sidewalk. Again, he walks on the sidewalk. If there had been a pedestrian there, they would have been run over. They were surrounded by police and gave up the escape attempt. The young man thought he could escape the police, ran up the stairs, and came face to face with another team. The police officers split up to try and deceive and surround the fugitive. The police managed to see one of them running. However, other police officers were already arriving at the bottom of the stairs, surrounding the individual. He had to turn back and things went badly for him. The individual was arrested for drug trafficking. Police found money and drugs in his backpack. The individual thought it would be a great idea to run from the police on foot.
Correndo aqui, ó. Tá correndo.
As soon as some young people saw the police, they started running desperately. Did he really think he could outrun 3 motorcycles? The boy managed to escape for a few meters until the police didn't let up on him. A man without a helmet sees the police and starts to run away. He drives onto the sidewalk and almost runs over 2 women. There was a party happening on a street, and the individual entered the middle of it. The police would have been too vulnerable among the people, so they decided to turn back. Unfortunately, he managed to escape, but the motorcycle's license plate is being sought. This couple, without helmets and on a motorcycle without license plates, tries to flee from the police and ends up suffering a terrible accident. Follow this chase. The girl almost fell off the motorcycle at that moment. Again, the two almost fall and come very close to hitting a car head-on. But their luck didn't last long. The police officer stepped in front of the motorcycle, they lost their balance and fell. Thanks for watching until the end. We're going to put another amazing chase video on the screen. I'll see you there.